Good morning, students. Our today's topic is law of independent assortment. First, the definition. The law states that when two pairs of traits are combined in a hybrid, segregation of one pair of character is independent of the other pair of character. This is the definition of independent assortment, which means like in the earlier we have studied dihybrid cross, in which we have taken two characters, that is parents are round yellow and wrinkled green. But in F2 generation, the round character can grow with green also, and wrinkled can go with yellow also. So in F2 the offsprings are round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow and wrinkled green. So all type of possibility is present. So this law states that in the hybrid, when in a dihybrid cross, the one character is independent of the other character, that is not dependent upon the other characters. Like round is not linked with the yellow, it can go with green also. This is law of independent assortment. So genotypic ratio already we have studied, that is in a dihybrid cross the genotypic ratio is 1 to 1, 2:4 to 1 to 1. Already you have done. Next is chromosomal theory of inheritance. Mendel published his work on inheritance in year 1865, but his work remained unrecognized till 1900. Now the question can be asked, why Mendel's work remained unrecognized till 1900? So the answer is, first point, the communication was not easy in those days and his work could not be widely publicized. Second point, his concept of gene, or according to Mendel factors, was not accepted by his contemporaries. So this is second point. Contemporaries means other scientists in that field. Third one is Mendel's approach of using mathematics to explain biological phenomena was totally new and unacceptable, because Mendel used some mathematical explanation that was not accepted to many. Now the fourth point is he could not provide any physical proof for the existence of factors. From these you can write 3 or 4 points. Learn. In 1900, three scientists, De Vries, Correns and Teskermak, independently rediscovered Mendel's result of inheritance. But by this time, due to advancement in microscopy, they were able to carefully observe cell division. This led to the discovery of nucleus and chromosomes. Then Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri. Learn this name, Sutton and Boveri. Full name is Walter Sutton and Theodore Boveri. Noted that the behavior of chromosomes was parallel to the behavior of genes. Sutton and Boveri noted that the behavior of chromosomes and behavior of genes was parallel to each other. So now in the diagram, just see at figure 5.8. Here one cell is shown, that is germ cell is shown with 4 chromosomes. Color of the chromosome they have shown yellow, red, orange and green. So in meiosis 1, because in meiosis 1 half chromosomes go to the one pole and other half go to the other pole. So from the homologous chromosomes separate. Here yellow and orange color chromosome are homologous, so they go to different poles. Similarly, red and green chromosomes are homologous, so they segregate and go to the different poles. Now next is a comparison between the behavior of chromosomes and gene. Actually, both are similar. Only genes are present on chromosomes. So, in first point is similar. Both occurs in pairs. Gene also occurs in pair, and chromosomes also occur in pair. Both segregate at the time of gamete formation, so that one gamete receives only one chromosome. Or gene also same. So we can say A is gene and B is chromosome. Now, Sutton and Boveri argued that pairing and separation of a pair of chromosomes would lead to the segregation of a pair of factors they carried. Sutton and Boveri explained that because genes are present on chromosomes, so when chromosomes segregate, the genes which are present on them also segregate. Sutton united the knowledge of chromosomal segregation with Mendelian principle and gave the chromosomal theory of inheritance. Then Thomas Hunt Morgan and his colleagues discovered the basis for variations that sexual reproduction produced. Morgan worked with a tiny fruit fly. Scientific name is Drosophila melanogaster, which, which is considered as very suitable for the studies. Now here question can be asked, why fruit fly or Drosophila melanogaster is considered as suitable for the studies? Answer is first, because they could be grown on a simple synthetic medium in the laboratory. First point, they can be grown on simple synthetic medium in the laboratory. Second, they complete their life cycle in about 2 weeks, very short life cycle. Third, in a single mating they produce a large number of progeny flies. So many offsprings are produced in a single mating. Next point is, there was a clear differentiation of sexes. The male and females are phenotypically separate. We can distinguish them. I hope this is clear to you. Next time we will start with linkage and recombination. Thank you.